Breaking news: Leafs has just been revealed, taking everyone by surprise. Our journalists have managed to obtain this valuable information. However, before we discuss the details of the news, I kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel, aiming to soon surpass the number of subscribers of Canadians. With everyone's cooperation, we aim to become the leading news channel. The Toronto Maple Leafs are gearing up for their second-to-last, or penultimate, preseason match tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. Following this, they are expected to make their final round of cuts and field their actual lineup on Saturday in their last preseason game, once again against Detroit. Until then, it's a waiting game. The NHL preseason is an interesting phenomenon. Initially, there's great excitement. September rolls in, and while the end of summer is a downer, you have training camp and back-to-school activities to look forward to. It's a fun time of the year, for about 2 days. We take a brief break from this news broadcast to bring you a relevant announcement. We want to point out that if you want to continue receiving the latest related news via YouTube suggestions, it is imperative that you leave your support by clicking the like button on this video. Thank you for your collaboration. Now, let's continue with the news coverage. Then reality hits with school, reminding you why summer was so cherished, and NHL training camp seemed to drag on forever. In terms of Toronto Maple Leafs news and training camp updates, there are still a few more cuts to be made, and one likely candidate is Nick Robertson, especially since he isn't playing tonight. The prevailing assumption is that the Leafs will send Robertson down while giving Fraser Minten 9 games or more to prove himself. There's also the probable signing of Noah Gregor, and Kalle Jarnkrok has returned from injury, which means the Leafs' forward lineup is nearly full, leaving no room for Robertson. It also appears unlikely that the Toronto Maple Leafs will retain Easton Cowan, despite his interesting story during camp. While it would be intriguing to see a cost-effective group of young players at the bottom of the lineup, it seems unlikely to happen. Minten might have a chance, but Robertson and Cowan likely do not. However, the situation remains uncertain due to the team being over the salary cap, and they still grapple with issues on the blue line, not to mention the unsigned status of William Nylander. Speaking of Nylander, the experiment to deploy him at center seems to have come to an end. Reports suggest that Coach Keefe was not keen on the idea from the beginning, and it was a suggestion from Brad Treliving. While it's a reasonable idea, especially given the limited options for a third-line center, if Nylander can't effectively fill that role, it's a non-starter. As a fan favorite, even I believe it might be time to consider trading Nylander. The time for such a move seems to be approaching. What's up, fans? What's your take on this news? Are you in agreement with it or do you have an opposite view? Don't hesitate to share your opinion in the comments below. This contributes significantly to our beloved team being aware of your points of view. Stay tuned, as I will return with more news at any moment.